Go read the story in Matthew 18. It starts in verse 23 and ends in 35, which is the last of the chapter. It's the story with three characters. There is a king, there is servant 1, and there is servant 2. The king is calling in his accounts, and servant 1 owes him 10,000 talents. Now, what that would be in today's money, it doesn't really matter. What you need to understand, it was a debt he could not pay. A debt he would never be able to pay. He comes before the king. The king says, "Where's my money?" He says, "I don't have it." And the king says, "Well, I'm going to cast you into the dungeon and let you be tormented until I receive my money." He falls down. He says he worships the king. He begs him, "Please forgive me. Please give me more time." The king takes pity upon him and says, "I tell you what, I'm just going to wipe the slate clean. Don't even worry about it anymore." And of course he gets up and he thanks the king and he goes out. It doesn't tell how much time travels between the two, but servant 1 has another servant that is below him that owes him money, and it says 10 pence or whatever, but the idea is it's not that much of a debt. Servant 2 comes in to servant 1. Servant 1 says, "Where's my money?" Servant 2 says, "I don't have it. If you give me some more time, I feel like I could get it in another month or 2. But servant 1 says, "No way. Where's my money? If you don't pay up right now, I am going to throw you into prison," which is what he did, "until you pay that little bit that you owe me." Well, other servants find out about it. And guess what? Word gets back to the king. The king calls in servant 1 and says, "You wicked, sorry," well, I just don't want to, just have to read it for yourself. You can imagine what he said to him. "I forgave you this debt that you could not repay. You go out of here and you throw somebody into debtor's prison that could not pay you this little paltry sum. I am going to reinstitute your debt. I am going to take you. I'm going to take your family. I'm throwing you all into prison and let you be tortured until you pay your debt." And we think, yeah, right on, that's the way it should be. But do you understand that you are servant 1? Do you understand that the king is God? Do you understand that God has forgiven us a debt that we could never pay? We could never pay the debt that we owe. But because of what Jesus Christ did on the cross, we have eternal forgiveness. And then we go out into our lives and we do not show mercy. When we have a problem with our wife or our husband, we want to sit there and say, "Well, I'll never forgive that. I'm not going to forgive you." Or we have a problem with our children. "Man, I'm not going to forgive that." Or we have a business partner that lies against us or that maybe cheats us, or some friend that does something malevolent against us. And we say, "Man, I'm writing that dude off. I'm never going to forgive them. I will always harbor that against him." Do you understand that your lack of mercy, that your lack of forgiveness is how God is going to forgive and use mercy to you? The last verse, verse 35, Jesus says, "Unless you forgive all of them," from the heart, man. Not just, "Oh yeah, I forgive you, but I never want to see that, I never want to see him again." From the heart. Unless you forgive from the heart. And that's the way God's going to show mercy on you. That's why this is the most important. You better show mercy in your dealings with people. You better show mercy in your relationships, whatever they may be. You better show mercy in situations or circumstances, because that is coming back on you. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are you when you show mercy, because you shall obtain mercy.